Welcome back to my Exodus run through Project Zomboid. For those of you who are just joining me a little bit late in this run, my character has been living in a clothing store, not here, over here, to kind of give you the lay of the land. I started in Muldraugh, and I've been working my way up this road for a while towards what I believe to be West Point. I've never been to West Point, so I don't really know what to expect from this place. But I've gotten most of the way up the highway, and it's not that much further. And so what I was thinking I would do today is, is get in my car, head up that direction, and see what I can find in that town. Now, it's a little foggy this morning, which is kind of not what I was hoping for. But, yeah, I've got a couple of problems I need to contend with. One is, this isn't an ideal base. I've got a place to sort of sleep and store stuff in that clothing store. And then over here at Spiffos, I've got, this is where I've actually got a, like a kitchen, where I can cook food. And so it's not the most convenient place to live. But the bigger problem for heading up to West Point is the fact that my character is kind of out of shape. He's out of shape, he's overweight, and that's a problem because it means that he gets tired really fast when he's fighting. The reason he came to this place was pretty much because it was the only place that was zombie-free enough that he could actually clear it. Because the previous stop on the road was just completely overrun, and there just was kind of no hope that he would ever be able to clear it out because there were just so many zombies, and he gets tired so quickly. So I'm going to head up to West Point. My goal today is to assess West Point, figure out, is there someplace up here that would be a better place for me to live, a place I can sort of move my whole operation? Are there really interesting and cool places to loot up here in West Point? Because I have literally never been to this part of the map. I've got no idea what's going on. Also, if there are interesting stopping points along the way to West Point, I could easily let myself get distracted for an episode exploring something cool. So it's a little bit of an open-ended session today, but I just wanted to get up there and see what it is I've been missing this whole time. Now this is West Point, Kentucky. This is not the West Point where the American military academy is. Just in case you were wondering, we should not expect for me to find some massive military installation up there. Oh, there's an ambulance hiding in the woods. That's kind of interesting, right? Okay, the problem is this is a lot of zombies. I kind of want to just stop and check out that ambulance, but... Oh, and there's a jack, too. Oh, I don't have a jack yet. Oh, but there's so many zombies. Okay, is there a spot that I can... There's literally no spot that I can stop and have my car remain fairly zombie-free. So what I think I might need to do is backtrack. Okay, I want to pick up that jack. Okay, these zombies all noticed me and then lost track of me when I went around the curve. Okay, so in a perfect world, that ambulance, I'm going to check out that ambulance, and I would also grab the jack off that car wreck. So here, yeah, so this is me not making it to West Point this session. This is me kind of deciding that what I'm actually going to do is screw around on the highway. So this is a number of zombies that is a little bit excessive for this character. My hope is that if it gets overwhelming, I can at least lead them away from my vehicle. So that I can rush back to the vehicle if it gets to be too bad. Luckily, I recently... Oh, that was a frame rate hitch I was not hoping for. I recently leveled up my long blunt skill. So I'm actually killing the zombies more efficiently than I used to, which is nice. Because it used to be I would just... I mean, the fact that my character gets tired so quickly is a huge part of why this would happen, but I would basically end up with, you know, just running around with a crowd of zombies, hitting them all repeatedly, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times each, having them never fall down until eventually I just have to give up. Okay, but I actually, because of that... Oh, crap! No, 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 no. Okay, I'm already starting to get exerted. Ah! Which means that my combat effectiveness has just dropped precipitously. Well, I'm getting a lot of knockdown. Or was. Alright, I'm letting the zombies get way closer than I usually do. Yeah. Okay, now and then you gotta back up and reset the distance between you and the zombies. Yeah, if your character's starting to shove zombies, the zombies are getting too close. Yeah. Okay, luckily I'm still only at level 1 exertion, though level 1... The step between level 0 exertion and level 1 exertion is absolutely massive. Like, and it only gets worse from there. I'm lucky that I'm killing any of these zombies, honestly. Okay, okay. Was that everybody? My character's exhausted. It looks like I did get everyone. And I'm fairly close to that ambulance, if I remember correctly. Should I bother ripping their clothing up? I mean, maybe I could come back on a trip to do that. So Awesome Twitch Dude asks if Undead Labs uses Midjourney for game development. You know, honestly, like, I'm not really super in the loop with, like, exactly what artists are doing. I think for the main value that a tool like Midjourney would have in game development is for rapid concepting. Is for, like, you know, we want to sort of just put pen to paper really fast and get a sense of, like, what might this look like? What might that look like? Get something down so that we can discuss it. So we can kind of go back and forth and say, oh, I like it, you know, this particular prop, I like it looking this way. Oh, well, I like it looking that way. And getting those discussions started quickly, you know, a concept artist could use a tool like Midjourney to make several concepts really quickly. To have, like, either make, you know, elements of a scene that would normally take them a long time to draw themselves. They could, you know, basically just grab, you know, an AI, you use some AI prompts to generate it really quick, incorporate it into their work, or just generate, you know, entire concepts just on the fly from prompts. And then once, you know, we sort of establish the direction we want to go through that discussion, then, you know, employ their full skills as a concept artist, making the actual concepts. And that's one of the ways in which, you know, these tools, a lot of people talk about, you know, these AI art tools as, like, you know, being a replacement for artists. But really, in my mind, that treats the amount of art you want to create like it's stable. Like, people only need one specific amount of art. And if they find a way to make it faster, that means they'll hire fewer artists to do it. But so far, I mean, and these tools are very new, but so far what I've seen is we've got the same number of artists. But, you know, if somebody were to use a tool like this, you'd just be doing more with the same number of people, and you could, like, make a more complex video game with more art in it, or, you know, iterate and get to, you know, develop the game faster because you've got and you're able to get to more content because the artists that you have are able to work more quickly. And so I think it's probably going to be a mix of those two. There's probably going to be some places where people will try to get by with fewer artists, but there will be other places where people have the same number of artists and they just make fancier stuff, or make stuff more quickly, or get to the point, you know, get through the concepting phase more quickly, and then, you know, and start to make things faster or whatever. There's all kinds of different ways that something like a tool like Midjourney could be fit into a workflow. So anyway, so I'm not, like, saying no. because I'm not super in the loop on the art side, like I can't give you specifics, and I don't even know if it would be my business to actually talk about exact, exact things that are happening at Undead Labs on the art side, even if I knew about them. But I do know that, like, folks there, I mean, there's a nice little community of people at Undead Labs who are interested in AI art, and exploring the possibilities with it. And I'm one of them, though I'm not an artist. Midjourney is one of those great things for. I'm the kind of person that it's great for, because I'm somebody who sort of has an artistic mentality and is interested in things that, like exploring, like ideas. Oftentimes, the best way to explore an idea will be visually. And since I lack, since I don't have the technical skill of an artist, I can't just create images to sort of illustrate my game design ideas. For instance, like if I had an idea for a new game, and it needed to be sold visually, a tool like Midjourney gives me the ability to sort of quickly generate the imagery that I need to, to communicate the idea to other people without needing to like take an artist offline, to take them away from the stuff that they're working on, just to help me illustrate a proposal, right? Like that artist probably has better things to do, more useful, original, satisfying things to do than just, have me sort of beg them to make illustrations for a document that I'm doing. I can just like come up with proto illustrations myself, and then later on, when we want to do the real thing, we'll obviously rely on actual artists to generate what we need. But that's how I think about it anyway. The uses that I've found for tools like Midjourney are all uses where it's not a question of, should we have an artist or should we not? We should definitely always have an artist. And the question is just, can we use it to sort of speed the process of trying ideas, communicating, that sort of thing. But yeah, so Ranithcord points out that that there's variant opinions about AI art. For instance, like I have these very positive feelings about AI art. My colleague Brant has been very publicly critical of AI art. And feels he and I think disagree a little bit about it. But definitely there's I think that there's a place for it, and in my mind, but it's not going to be the kind of thing where I mean, I'm not speaking for Undead Labs when I express my own opinion about AI art. This is just how I feel about it, how I think it could fit in, and how I think it could be sort of a positive thing for artists and non-artists alike, to sort of give everyone sort of this ability to communicate visually about things, about ideas, while still relying very heavily on professional artists to do the actual work. Because one thing that Midjourney can't do is respond to feedback very well. Like when it's a little bit wrong about something, it will persist on being a little bit wrong about something forever. You can't make it stop. A lot of the time, it's very difficult to get exactly what you want out of it. Whereas with an actual professional artist, you can go back and forth and collaborate together in a way you just can't collaborate with an AI. And you can get on the same page with another human, drawing from a lot of the same, like life experience and an experience with media, and establish together what it is you'd like to make as a team, and then make exactly that thing because the artist is just that good. And you're never going to get that kind of thing from AI art. That's just not, it's not viable as a replacement for artists. And so that's one reason why, like, I'm less negative about it than other folks. Like, if I thought like it was literally going to make, human artists like irrelevant, then I would probably be more worried about it. But I just don't think it will. I think there are going to be cases where somebody tries to get by on AI art without hiring enough actual artists. But I don't. I think that they're going to be the ones whose stuff looks bad. It's going to develop a look. People are going to be, looking at art that is done that way and going like, yeah, this is subpar. They must have used an AI. And the stuff that's really good is going to be the stuff that's developed by teams that include actual artists. All right, so let's definitely drink from the toilet. I think I forgot to refresh my water bottle while I was out, so that didn't go all that well. But And we got super, super exhausted just killing a handful of zombies on the highway, and they weren't even all that close to the place I was trying to get to. So the only reason I got out where I did was because it just happened to be a place without a whole lot of zombies there. So we didn't accomplish a whole lot on that highway. But I think maybe if we, how are we doing on, like, is there a book I can read? Let me read a book. We got first aid, metalwork, tailoring. What other books do I have? Mechanics. You know what? Let's grab this mechanics book. Let's read this mechanics book while I catch up with the chat a little bit more. So let's sit on the ground. Let's read this mechanics textbook. And then I'll try to catch up with the chat. So GT230 says, wait, are y'all saying that AI does thumbnail art now? Oh boy, the future is now. Well, it's not that AI just does it, right? Like when I'm making, like, all of my thumbnails lately for Project Zomboid. In fact, if you're watching this later on YouTube, you probably clicked on a thumbnail that I made this way. I've been using Midjourney for them because, just the perspective of Zomboid doesn't lend itself very well to thumbnails. Thumbnails work really best if you can see, like, a character or, like, a thing really clearly, like, jumping out at you. And the art, tends to be very sort of pulled back, isometric, not really dramatic perspective. It's harder to make an effective thumbnail from Project Zomboid unless you really go all out with it. And so I use Midjourney to sort of create depictions of my character doing the thing they did in Zomboid without using Project Zomboid graphics to show that. And so I have a lot of fun with it, but it still requires a lot of, like, human input. But people talk about AI art. A lot of times, if they're not super familiar with it, they get the impression that, like, you just say, hey, robot, make me thing, and then robot makes you thing, and then you just use the first thing it gave you. It actually, you usually go through, to make one thumbnail, I'll usually go through dozens and dozens of images, going back and forth with Midjourney, seeing what it creates if I type this, and then sometimes grabbing past images that it's made, say, hey, make something like this, but I'm describing it in a new way, or I'll tweak the description, or I'll do whatever. And then when it makes something that I like, I still have to crop and frame and present that thing with the title of the thumbnail, with all of my branding stuff, the white frame around it, my little icon in the lower right. And so, I end up using some, like, open source, it's not open source, it's just free, some freely available photo editing software, and I'll assemble it, I'll put it together that way. And so at every step along the way, it's a human guiding the experience, but the actual brushstrokes are all done by Midjourney. I don't have the skill to do that. And so it's this interesting, weird hybrid thing where, like, there's definitely a human involved in making all these selections, where it's actually a little bit more like photography than it is like painting. Because in painting, you start with a blank canvas and you're just making everything from scratch. Whereas with photography, you're finding things and you're deciding how to frame them and cast them to, like how am I going to depict this thing that exists in the real world? I can't change the thing, but I can decide how I depict it. And so me working with Midjourney to make my thumbnails is really similar to that. It's like Midjourney is providing me with the stuff, and I have a lot of influence over, which stuff I ask it for, but it's providing it. But then my role is a lot like a curator or a photographer, where I'm, like, picking the thing that I want to depict and then choosing how to frame it, how to present it, how to augment it, stuff like that. So Coalition apparently now has 100,000 channel points, and Cogs is like, which 5 games are you gonna force him to play? Yeah, you've got so many channel points now. I don't even know. Like, part of me is like, should I raise the prices of the things that I offer with channel points? But that would not be fair to newer viewers, and so I just don't even know what to do. So I'm going to speed up time. Let's see here. GT230 said, I thought that Midjourney was a person. I could see why, where somebody could make that assumption. People credit Midjourney all the time for, for art and stuff like that. It's easy to imagine it being, were you imagining it was like an artist with like a nom de plume, like Banksy or something like that? I could totally see that working. All right, so we'll put this book away. I'm hungry. This box of cereal, I didn't even use it while I was in the field. But let's actually eat something else. Let's open a mushroom soup and eat that instead. Because the cereal is really convenient to eat out in the field. Mushroom soup, I have to actually open it with a can opener, so I'd rather eat that at home. And it wasn't even enough to clear up my hunger. Okay, fine. Fine, okay. You want to be full? Let's have a bolognese. Bolognese is extremely filling. Wait, I didn't mean... No, don't open it all. Oh, I accidentally said open all. That's not what I meant. Oh, I've got 3 of them now. Well, I guess this is what I'm taking to eat with... I guess I'm taking the bolognese on the road. This is going to be my food now. That was not what I meant. All right. Well, that's the kind of mistake you can make when you're not paying super good attention. So, Coalición is, he's delaying making me play other things because I am, right now, playing a game that he requested ages ago. So he actually ended up hitting on a game that I super got into, and so he hasn't needed to recommend other games for me to play for quite a while. But yeah, you're so Coalition, I get the sense that you are into horror games, because yeah, you were suggesting sending me back to Cry of Fear. You're also suggesting that I can play that you would get me to play Silent Hill, which, man, I remember playing Silent Hill 2 and just being completely flummoxed and frustrated by it. Back when it was new. That's the only Silent Hill game I've ever played, I think. I'm trying to remember if I played another one. I don't think I have. Okay, so basically, this highway is just my life now. Like, I'm gonna head back up the road. Actually, do I have another water bottle in my backpack? I should bring a backup water bottle, or like a bottle of soda or something, because running out of water out there in the field is probably not a good idea. So I'm just gonna fill my water bottle again. And then, where did I stick? I think I put water bottles here. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just bring a backup water bottle in my backpack. My goal is to basically I just want to keep heading out there until I've cleared out enough of a space on that highway that I can actually explore that ambulance. And there's an ambulance. Oh, and there was that jack on the ground. That's right. So I want to explore. I want to get whatever's in the back of that ambulance. And I also want to get that jack off the ground at the car wreck. And so that's going to take way more effort with this character than with most of my previous characters, because he gets tired so quickly. And this is going to be dangerous. But also, at the same time, I mean, this isn't a waste of time. Even if there ends up being very little in the way of stuff, like that I get out of the ambulance. And even if the jack doesn't feel like it's super important, I mean, if I ever want to use that mechanic skill I just read up on, that jack is going to be super important. But even if I don't end up getting a whole ton of use out of this stuff, just having this highway be clear isn't that bad an idea, considering I'm probably going to be doing a lot of traveling back and forth between here and West Point if my current plans remain intact. So I haven't even reached the point where I've got dead bodies on the ground. Just, there's so many zombies around here. Man, this is survivor difficulty for you. Alright, so here's the dead zombie bodies. So I killed a bunch of zombies around here, but I didn't quite make it all the way up to where the ambulance was. Oh, you know what? Real quick. Never mind, that was nothing. I just thought I heard a knock at my door, and so I really wanted to be careful because I'm recording this on the weekend instead of during my lunch break at work, and because of that, there's more going on at my house, and there's a significantly higher chance that someone's going to need my help with a kid thing. So I just want to make sure that I'm available. So I'll probably be a little bit overreactive to the... Oh, no! Get off me! A little bit overreactive to the potential of somebody knocking on my door or dinging my phone. So usually when I'm streaming, like, all the kids are at school and very little is going on in the house. But like it says on my Twitter bio, I am a game developer, a father, and a Twitch streamer, but not in that order. and so, I mean, actually, yeah, that order is wrong. I'm father first, game developer second, Twitch streamer third. And so, during times when I've got nothing better to do than stream, it seems like I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. But that is not the case. I've got other things that always take precedence. So, we've got a dead body on the ground here. But what's in the back of here? Okay. Ooh, lug wrench. Trauma bag with stuff in it. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, they're all just... Okay, fine. Leaving that on the ground. Yep, so I had cleared out this area, but unfortunately... What the heck? Okay, this is way more zombies than I would have expected. To show up just because I parked my car nearby. I guess, okay, some of these zombies were following me up the road, and that makes sense. I do not know why there are so many in the forest. What the heck? There's like 3 times the zombies suddenly. Compared to what was here before. That is crazy. Yeah. All right, all right. Oh my gosh. So is it actually interesting to watch me do this, by the way? Like, I know that a lot of, like, Zomboid YouTubers just speed this process up. Like, they'll replay this at, like, 5 times speed or faster. Because it's just not that interesting to watch me back away forever smacking zombies. I think that, part of me wonders, even though I've gotten super into... Oh, no. Even though I've gotten super into this game, I wonder if actually, now that I'm getting better at it, if it might actually be less interesting to watch. Like back when every zombie encounter was just me panicking and not knowing what to do. If this might have been a more interesting thing to watch than now when I'm sort of like, oh, no, well, hold on. I mean, I'm definitely capable of making mistakes. But they're not even that interesting mistakes. They're just mistakes resulting from, things going slightly wrong as I'm just backing away from zombies and killing them constantly. Like, it's hard for me to assess this without input from you all. But, like, part of me is thinking that, I should maybe take this... this series a little bit further, get up to West Point, settle down there. But maybe I should take a break from Project Zomboid for a little while. Just because it's just not as interesting to watch somebody, like, mechanically go through dozens and dozens and dozens of zombies. Like, having a harrowing encounter with a handful of zombies might be interesting. Like, running away from a horde you can't handle might be interesting. But just, like, sort of mechanically destroying zombies one after another with just this sort of slight chance per zombie that it'll get through, that'll it'll break through my defenses and I'll end up in trouble. Whew. All right. I've actually managed to stay alive and uninjured, despite the fact that, like, I got real close to getting got by zombies several times during that fight. I am technically still alive. Oh, frickin' heck. There's even more. Oh, I just realized I know why these zombies came after me. It's because I'm clumsy. It's because I took the clumsy disadvantage and the whatever, the one that makes me really easy to see. So basically, I'm going into the woods. I can't see the zombies, but I am just broadcasting my position at all times because I've taken all of the high visibility disadvantages. That's probably why I've gotten so completely trashed by zombies. Okay. Still another one. I'm really nervous about having a fight out here because of how easily a zombie could just come around a tree. Just want to get everything out of here that matters. Okay, the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. Hello, zombie. Where did you go? There you are. Hi. You know what? I don't want to deal with you in here. Come out here. I'm going to hammer your face. Never mind. I guess I'm crowbarring you because you got a friend. The crowbar is much better at doing this nonsense than the hammer is. Oh! But there's a problem. Okay. We no longer have a working crowbar. So, I didn't really bring a backup weapon except for this hammer. So, I guess we're going to try to fight 4 zombies with a hammer. This is a little more harrowing than doing it with a massive crowbar with a big reach and the easy ability to hit multiple zombies at once. I think the hammer can technically do it, but I think it's... No, it looks like it really can't. It looks like I really am just choosing one target. Ah! Oh, okay, I can't run anymore. This is gonna be a freaking problem. Okay, yeah. The fact that my character gets so tired, this is gonna be his downfall. Like, I could actually see this series ending on my character just getting worn down by the zombies. And getting bitten because he can't move anymore. So Melitor says, I personally still really like the Project Zomboid stuff, but there's a huge update coming that'll add more interest. That's true. I could see me, like, taking a break sometime soon and just, like, waiting until the big update comes and then trying out the update. That could be interesting. Okay, so I think I have officially gotten everything out of that stupid ambulance that I want. So, I'm just going to grab this, head back to the car, and again we're going, it's only like 1:30 in the afternoon, and my character is just bushed. Okay, seriously, how do I get into this car? Okay. Alright, here we go. Well, that was a lot of death. I feel accomplished. And even I'm gonna pass a zillion zombies on the way back. None of whom I'm going to fight because I'm just exhausted. So yeah, Malator says, hey, they're saying that that update is still a ways off, and it is reminding me unnecessarily about how long game updates can take. I believe somebody just also asked about the Infestation update for State of Decay 2 and when that's coming out. And I believe that Joe is gonna have more information on its status. I don't think he's got a date for you, so don't go in expecting that. But I think on Monday, which is tomorrow, Joe Swarner's gonna be hosting a stream where he gives you an update on sort of the most recent version internally that we have of the Infestation update. So that will be cool. He knows way more about that than me because that's actually his day job, and mine is working on secret stuff I can't talk about. But that'll be good. So yeah, definitely tune into the official State of Decay 2 stream whenever that's going on. All right. So we made it back home alive, just barely. Let's grab this trauma bag and take it inside. And I think I still just can't even move. I don't even know, like, once I run out of books to read, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I guess I could just go to sleep early or something, but unfortunately you can't just lounge around in bed. I mean, I guess you can. You can just rest and just lie there, but that feels a little, you know. Actually, maybe what I should do is spend some time cooking. Just because, you know, right now I've been relying on canned food and stuff because cooking is inconvenient. But yeah, put that stuff in there. And the trauma bag. And now I need to, okay, and what else did I pick up anything here that, oh, I haven't even eaten my bolognese that I opened. So let's eat that. And actually, my character wasn't even hungry. Man, that bolognese filled me up so much, my character wasn't even hungry. Other stuff that I don't need right this second include the tarp. Oh, okay, we already had, I couldn't remember if we had a lug wrench. We already had a lug wrench. We don't have a jack, and so that's one reason I need to try to get that jack. But here's a tarp. Everything else here is stuff that I want to have in my inventory. So, but let's look at what my alternatives are to that crowbar, because this is going to be a problem. If I'm about to run out of weapons, okay, we got a pipe wrench, which I can attach. I can't attach it to my back, but it is like, I think is it tougher than a hammer in terms of its damage? Let me look at my hammer. Compare it. So there's a hammer. It's not in the best condition. It looks like the pipe wrench and the hammer aren't that far off from each other. They're about the same. The shovel is better. The shovel is definitely going to be more of an equivalent to the to what am I talking about? To the crowbar. But it also isn't going to last as long as the crowbar. So that makes me a little bit nervous. So what if I did bring a pipe wrench with me as a backup instead of just the hammer, and then just stuck the screwdriver in my backpack? Of course, having a revolver around for close encounters also probably makes sense. So let's load this revolver up. Basically, I'm thinking about times when I get super, super tired and I can't run away anymore and I need to kill some zombies quickly to just get a move on. This thing might be valuable for that. So let's... how do I attach holster right? There we go. Okay, so I'm a little bit better equipped now. That's good. Coalition, no, I am not. I mean, I've got this old injury, which I think is probably healed. But no new injuries today. So you're that's how the bets are going. Oh, you get to keep band-aids after you use them, huh? That kind of surprises me. All right, you know what? I'm going to, because it's not late enough yet to go to bed, I'm going to grab some ingredients. And I think, oh, they've actually, oh, I've got some fresh ingredients out there too. So I'm going to grab a couple of ingredients. And then I'm going to go out to the kitchen. And I'm going to make some stew. Wow, I can actually carry all this stuff. I kind of expected to be encumbered, but whatever. Yeah, Ranthcord is pointing out that I could always try guns a little bit more. I think that I'm feeling cautious because I only have the 2 guns. I guess, you know, one of the problems with guns is they're so noisy. But honestly, like, my character is just so naturally noisy. Like, it might not make that much of a difference to be using a gun with this character. So yeah, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna make some food that we can take with us on our little trip and eat along the way instead of relying only on packaged food. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll cook some food, but maybe I won't bring it with me. Maybe I'll keep holding on to the easy-to-eat packaged food for right now. But I'll have some in the fridge, presuming that the fridge stays a thing. And that's the thing. You know what? As much as I'm kind of having fun poking around on the highway, I should probably... Oh, these are frozen. Let's stick them in the fridge so they can start thawing. Okay, yeah, okay, we're gonna make some stew out of our stuff that is going stale. But yeah, like, I need a generator handbook, right? And there's no guarantee that you will ever find one in this game. And so if I want to ever have a, what am I trying to say? If I want to ever be able to use generators, I have to go someplace where I can find them, where I can find that magazine so I can learn how to use them. So like if this place is a nice kitchen and all, but if you know, if I can't get a generator here, but by the time the power goes out, I'm gonna lose everything in the fridge, and it's gonna suck. So put some carrots in there, put some corned beef in there. I got a little bit of corned beef left, and we're gonna put this in the oven and turn it on. The Coalition says I should do a Bill and Frank run. I don't even know what that means. Like, I mean, I know you're talking about Bill and Frank from The Last of Us, but I'm not. I'm like, does that mean like what? Like trying to beautify an entire neighborhood? Like try to fortify and beautify a neighborhood? That just sounds like a lot of work. That's the thing that's sort of getting to me about the fact that you're like, you know, I've gotten so into streaming this game, but like, I'm like, all the big ambitious things that I'd be interested in doing now, they're all big jobs. You know, they're all like stuff that would take me ages, like fortifying an entire neighborhood or something like that. And so I'm kind of like, would that be interesting to watch, or might it be better if I spent, you know, more of my time? I'm just gonna set that right in there. Might it be better if I spent more of my time, you know, trying out brand new games? You know, which is something that, like, because basically I've been sort of keeping up this series. So I'm releasing a video from this series every other day, and as a result of that, that is actually stopping me from streaming other games. Which, you know, maybe I need to take a little break just for that, or at least slow down the releases of these, just so that I can devote some time to, you know, other games. Like, for instance, you know what I'm not playing right now? The Diablo 4 beta. Because I'm playing Project Zomboid. Yeah, Coalition suggests that I could do a run of, like, raiding the prison or a military base. That's true. But what I'm wondering is, might it be more interesting for me to, like, play the game, rather than, like, playing through the entire life of the game, of a character, moment to moment, back to back? Would it be more interesting if I played this game a little bit, you know, on my own, and then when I was about to do something really cool, we just did a stream about it? Would you feel like you were missing out on sort of getting to know the character? Like some of the stuff that like with Shonda, where people were very, very invested in Shonda, because I've done so many Shonda episodes. Like, do you think you'd be missing that? Or do you think it would still be interesting to sort of watch me play the exciting bits of the game, but maybe miss out on sort of the day-to-day, moment-to-moment, you know, just life in the apocalypse stuff? Okay, I'm going to try to sleep now and see if that ends up being a good idea. because it means that you wouldn't be able to make that long-term investment in the character, but it also means you'd skip all of the boilerplate of like, oh, I'm gonna go scavenging for food again, you know. Radithcord says the real question is if you could even get through the Diablo 4 queue in one stream. See, I don't even know what you're talking about because I haven't even started trying Diablo 4. I might try Diablo 4 like later tonight or something on my own. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's one of those games where I'm like, I'm not that interested in the early access of it because, I mean, I know when it comes out, I'm going to have to play it. Like, I do like Diablo games. They're not my absolute favorite thing. I do like them. The one I got into the most was actually Diablo 2, way back in the day, before I was even a game developer. But yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, even if I didn't like it, I'd still have to play it. Because you got to know what's going on, what Blizzard is doing with Diablo. You can't not know that. So I'm like, I'm going to get this game when it's new anyway. So I'm just like, why spend extra time on it now? Except just to be curious what's going on, you know? Okay, so wait, what time is it? We've been streaming for nearly an hour. So what I think we should do is first eat some spaghetti bolognese. And then all I want is that jack. So let's get over here and try to see if we can get that car jack. If we can get the jack, then we are successful on this highway. And we can move on to our next thing, and probably an entire next episode. I don't think the jack was that much further up the road past the ambulance. So to get past these idiots. Yep, the game thinks something's exciting is going on, but I'm just avoiding all the exciting stuff. Okay, yeah, so I'm actually honestly kind of impressed that this character killed this many zombies, because this character is not well suited to killing large numbers of zombies. Okay, so if we're doing one zombie at a time, we will use our less powerful weapon. Okay, so I think I need to deal with these zombies, because I think, if I remember right, I think they're close enough to the car wreck that if I drove past them and tried to stop at the car wreck, they would end up following me to the car wreck. So I might as well deal with them now, rather than trying to get to the car wreck. So I'm not using my shovel here, mostly just because I'm expecting that there's going to be a fight with much more zombies a little bit later on, where I'm going to really wish that I had my shovel. So I don't want to waste valuable shovel durability on zombies that I can kill with something else. Okay, let's inch up just a little bit closer with the car. So Dr. Lackenstein gives me some good advice here. He says, if you're having fun playing and streaming the game, there will always be people wanting to watch. But if you're bothered by missing out on other games, then maybe it is time to quit. If you do keep playing, there's a lot of other starting scenarios you could play with, too. Oh, that's true. I've heard that between mods and between some of the other, like, I think there's basically other little game modes that they've set up. There could be interesting things to try. That is true. Yeah, so I think that I might... sort of, like, right around the time that I started this new series... It was like right before I started feeling like, oh, maybe I'm playing too much Zomboid. And it would have been convenient to think about that before starting a brand new series rather than after. But yeah, I think I am getting into that sort of mental zone where it's like, what I would really like to be doing is trying something new. So I don't think I'm going to quit streaming Project Zomboid. In fact, I'm not even going to quit streaming it today. But... I think I might start easing off Zomboid for a little bit. Spending more time on other things. And then coming back to Zomboid when something interesting is going on. Either because I've gotten to an interesting point in one of my games, or because something actually interesting happened with the game, like there was a new update or something like that. Okay, Jack. Jack, get! Alright, let's knock these guys out too while we're here. So Malator, speaking of my, of sort of the earlier series I did, my sort of Shonda-dominated series, Malator says, you did a pretty good combo of day-to-day and highlights with your multiple communities. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, that basically what I was doing before was I had Shonda as sort of my regular character that I just kept coming back to. But then anytime anything interesting was going on in one of my other games that I was playing on the side, I would go into a quick little episode with just that other game. Either actually just playing an entire episode with that character, or just showing what happened. Like, if it was like, I built something neat, I would just show the thing I built and then continue with Shonda. And so it might not be crazy for me to like switch to a model where I'm doing the second part, where I'm just like, I'm showing highlights, but I'm not doing just the day-to-day Shonda stuff. But yeah, that would mean that the main thing that that made me sort of like always want to just play every single second of Shonda's experience on the stream was because I just felt like once people had invested in Shonda, missing Shonda's death would be a bad experience for the audience. So I was like, okay, well, I have to play her all the time because death can come at any time. And I don't want to, like, have people who cared about Shonda miss the moment where she died and just have it happen off camera. And so I felt like I had to do every single thing with her. But if I'm not setting it up that way from the beginning, if the basic idea behind my whole approach is that you're not going to see every minute of a character's life, then you'll probably be seeing different characters all the time, and you wouldn't be invested in one particular character. Instead, you'd just be invested in what's going on in that stream, in that session. Okay, here we go. Here's an actual bunch of zombies. So basically, I'm just killing as many zombies as my character can handle on the way back home, so that this highway will be clear, because my next goal is, you know, for my next session, is to get this character to West Point. And actually, I feel like if I do end up sort of tailing off a little bit and, like, not streaming at the same frequency, it would be nice if my Exodus stream, if my Exodus series actually got the character somewhere. Somewhere meaningful. Before I sign off for a while. You know, before I take a break from the character. Like, you know, Moses needs to make it to the... Actually, what am I talking about? I mean, this character's name is Moses, but I was like saying, Moses needs to make it to the Promised Land. It's like, wait a minute, no. In the Bible, Moses doesn't make it to the Promised Land. So, actually, that feels like an omen. That feels like maybe I'm going to get this guy killed before he moves on to West Point. And that's just going to be the story of my Exodus run. Is Moses not making it to the Promised Land. If that does happen, if he dies before he settles somewhere more interesting, then maybe what I'll have to do is make a new character named Joshua to be the one that takes us the rest of the way. So yeah, Malator suggests Aaron. So I think in this scenario, I think, you know, if this is Moses on my screen, then I must be Aaron because I'm the one who's talking for him. So yeah, so Moses is the one that acts, Aaron is the one that talks, right? But Joshua is the one that leads them into the Promised Land, and, you know, genocides everyone who's there, which also is kind of my goal wherever I go. I do kind of want to genocide all of the zombies that are there. So there we go. But I got some advice from somebody on a in a YouTube comment that you can stand on zombie bodies to keep them from getting up, and that was actually some of the earliest advice I got from YouTube comment was somebody already telling me that. So I did know that. Whoever it was who left that message for me. I did know that I can stand on zombies. One of my favorite things to do, actually, is to get zombies to stand on each other. So you can, like, knock one zombie down and then try to position yourself so that their friend stands on top of them. So you just deal with the one on top, and then you squish the one underneath afterwards, because the one underneath can't get up. Interestingly, my character has not become exerted this whole time. I guess it's because I'm getting in the car and driving in between little fights, rather than just having long, continuous fights. So talking about the ongoing bet we usually have about whether or not I'm going to get injured each session, it looks like Lockenstein is predicting that if I make it to West Point, I absolutely will get injured at West Point. Yeah, I've got no idea what to expect from West Point. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's a particularly zombie overrun place, or if it's just like all the other towns, which is like they're all zombie overrun. Okay, that billboard is a problem. Not being able to see the, I mean, like, if I hadn't had the green highlights on the zombies, that would have been terrifying to go behind that billboard. You definitely need to show the character. Even if there's a tall thing intervening. Okay, now I'm exerted. Whew, okay. Now we're hitting the end of what this character should do. And check it out. It's only 9:50 in the morning. That is no time at all. That's ridiculous. My character's already pretty much done for the day. But yeah, I definitely can't keep doing this forever, because one thing I'm not doing is scavenging for more tools and weapons. Like, I'm just not... That's not a thing you can easily find just driving on the highway. Now, as I say that, behind my head right now, there is a zombie with a shotgun. Which I'm kind of interested in killing. I could have just... What the... I don't know why I prematurely swung like that. It happens to a lot of guys. But yeah, I think normally I would actually try not... Oh, gosh. I was trying to stand on that zombie, but then another zombie turned over, and I was like, oh, never mind. Yeah, normally I think I would have just started continuing on at this point, but that zombie's got a shotgun. I kind of want that shotgun, so I am exerted right now. It might not be a great idea. There's only 5 of them, though. Actually, I'm wondering, might this be a good time to use my pistol? And by pistol, I mean handgun. Because I think technically, pistol refers to, like, automatic handguns. Not revolvers, I think? I don't know if that's actually true. Oh, last... Okay, well, that was not very effective at all. Let's get out the good weapon. Like, if that had at least killed some zombies, it might have felt effective. Instead, all it did was annoy some zombies and then bring other zombies out of the woodwork. So, no, not a great choice. Come on, man. Come on. You know what's going to happen. Just fall down. Okay. Might as well take out this last zombie, right? Watch it. This is the one that kills me because I just didn't take it seriously. Whew. All right. So I'm sure they all have lovely things on them, but the one I'm looking for, I think it's in this pile, is the one with the shotgun. Oh, and an M9 pistol. Nice. And a bulletproof vest, which I think is in about the same shape as my current bulletproof vest, right? Oh, mine's in better shape, so yeah. Okay, okay. I think this has been a long episode. I think we're done. I think the next group of zombies, unless they have some amazing piece of equipment on them, I don't see any amazing pieces of equipment on these zombies. So unless they had major pieces of equipment on them, I'm not going to kill these zombies. I'm just going to drive right by. I can't believe the sheer number that I killed, and there's still so many more left. So many more. It just doesn't end. I'm glad I got a new shotgun out of that deal, but holy crap. Radcourt says, do you have a major piece of equipment on you, or are you just happy to see me? I remember the first time as a child that I understood that joke, and I felt very clever. Felt like I've been led into some kind of secret society of people who understand jokes like that. Whew, all right. So Hikaru Kishi asks, at what point is it no longer worth starting over with a new character instead just carrying on with a new character, losing the learning from TV and starting from scratch? So I'm not sure. So I'm not sure exactly what the dichotomy is that you're expressing, but it sounds like, you know, basically I know some people, like my friend Jeremy at work. He tends to when he suffers a setback in Project Zomboid, he tends to just restart, and so he's played through so many like helicopter events and things like that because he just keeps starting over whenever his character dies. He'd rather start from the beginning with all the learning you can get from the TV, you know, with all of the extra stuff that bonuses you get with, you know, power and water on, and just see if he can get further with his next character. For me, because the game is so much about what you can build and like sort of the creative investment you make in you know, like the actual like bases that you're building and stuff like that, for me starting over is painful. Like I would much rather continue with with a new character in the same world and keep what I built than start over. But it's just I think it's just different mindsets and different sort of ways of processing loss, I think, in a video game. Okay, my character sort of he's not as exerted anymore. Well, now I've got the whole day ahead of me. What am I going to do with it? Nothing. I'm going to do nothing with this day because it's time to take a break. But yeah, Hikaru Kishi says, once the TV stops training, you lose that head start. That's true, unless you've collected a bunch of VHS tapes of those same shows. And that's what I've got going on in my other Survivor game, is that I've collected VHS tapes from 2 different VHS stores. And so I've got a bunch of them. So whenever I end up getting killed and starting a new character, one of the first things they do is they watch a bunch of VHS tapes, and they do get caught up even faster than you can with the TV. Because with the TV, you've got a lot of distractions. So you either have to just hang around at home all the time watching TV, or you constantly miss out on TV shows because you're out there in the world doing other things when the time rolls around. But if you got VHS tapes, you can just watch them at your own leisure. And so there are ways to sort of replicate. Like, once you've got a base up and running that has a generator, you've got a gas station nearby that's fairly safe with a generator, and you've got water collection, and you've got VHS tapes, you've got all the ingredients of the starting experience. And so once if you can get a base up to that point, then actually you starting over actually has a greater loss, because not only do you not gain anything, you're not really gaining power, you're not really gaining water, and you're not really gaining TV shows because you have all of that stuff. What you're doing is losing this base that you've built, and so it ends up being more painful to restart than with a brand new world than to just restart with a brand new character. At least that's the way that works in my head. But I think it's interesting just how different players process the loss of things in different ways. It's really interesting to me. Like, I was streaming earlier today with my daughter Calliope, we were playing. She was playing Don't Starve. I was watching her play Don't Starve Hamlet, and she got to this point where she intended to sort of make a base and settle down near the pig village, but it took her a long time to find the pig village. And so she spent most of that session walking around with a thing in her hand because she collected so many things that she was not willing to put down. And so she actually made the game much harder to play because she just was not willing to let go of anything that she had picked up. But she didn't have anywhere to put it. She didn't have a final place to put it. And it would feel like loss to set one of these things down and risk potentially losing track of it. And so for me, like, that was a more extreme reaction to potential loss than I have, but I definitely have a very similar feeling. You know, when I find a really nice car, I never drive it anywhere because I'm afraid of damaging it. If I find like my favorite kind of weapon, I'll make sure, like, I won't use the last one. I'll always keep one of them pristine just in case. And so I'm totally the same way. Not quite as extreme. Like the situation that she was in, I probably would have made some kind of temporary outpost and just put some stuff away so that I could, you know, play more conveniently. She didn't want to do that. And so, like, we all, you know, and I'm definitely, like, for instance, I'm a potion hoarder in Diablo 2. And so, you know, I never ever use potions ever, and I would just have so many of them and nothing that I was willing to do with them. So anyway, so people process that stuff in different ways. And so, like, one of the things you have to do as a game designer is be really aware of the spectrum of different types of players out there and try to think of how is this mechanic that I'm building in my game going to affect different types of players. Because, you know, and actually sometimes you'll actually come up with, like, player personas of, like, people with different psychologies who you think are going to play this game, and you'll define them, and you'll think through, like, every time you make a mechanic, you're like, how is this type of player going to experience this mechanic? How is this type of player going to do it? How is that type of player going to do it? And you try to head off that possibility that you might make something that works really well for you, but somebody who is more of a hoarder or less of a hoarder than you has a terrible time because you've given them some weird incentive that tickles their brain in a weird way and makes them act in a way that makes the game less fun for them. And so it's tough to, you can't always predict all of those possibilities, but you get better at noticing the big ones, and especially if you go through that process of defining who your player personas are, you can try to stay ahead of that kind of thing. Yeah, Coalition, no injuries. And actually, I think we had a long enough and complicated enough session just now. I think I am going to take a break from Project Zomboid today. I'm not putting it into the series, so if you're watching this later on YouTube, I'm betting by now there's a decent chance there is another episode after this one. But I think for today I'm going to stop playing Project Zomboid because that was a lot of zombies I just killed, and it made not only my character tired, but it made me tired as well. So Dr. Lockenstein says, starting game saves fresh is a lot of fun, but I definitely want to do it at my choice. Sometimes I'll start over, and sometimes I'll prefer to come back. Yeah, so the advantage of starting over fresh is there's certain challenges that you face at the beginning, like when you just don't have a base at all. There's a certain thrill that comes from that you can't get when you do have a base, unless you consciously abandon your base to go and try to build something somewhere else. And so, yeah, you're right. The being kind of very on your own and helpless is a different kind of experience that is worth going after sometimes, even if you've got, a base, that's why I start parallel games. Like, I keep all of my games going, and I never just say, like, oh, I'm throwing that one away and I'm starting over, because of the way I treat that as a loss in my head. But I do just keep starting additional games because I want to try other things. So there you go. All right, yeah, so it looks like I did not get injured, so whoever voted, whoever made their bets in favor of me not getting injured, I mean, it was close. Like, you kept seeing zombies nearly grab me because I was not playing optimally today. But yeah, it looks like we did actually skate by without any official injuries today, so there we go. Scott Landon got over 1,000 channel points for that, so congratulations to you. And yeah, I guess we're just sort of blathering about live Twitch stuff, and the YouTube people are getting bored. So let's let them go somewhere else. So let's give them a subscribe button and a link to another video and this video, and have fun, YouTube people. And the rest of us will go do something else.